Okie dokie. I say okay a lot. Okay, okay, okay. All right, all right, all right. Here is not really a fix for the first time discovery. What is it? This has been a long-term project of mine. It's a Sankyo stereo cassette deck, STD1510. I found it as a listing on the marketplace of a book of faces, and it was listed with a reel-to-reel tape deck that I'm also slowly working on parts for, because both of these items were in terrible condition. For this and the Akai 4000D reel-to-reel, it was $30, and you'll probably go, no way, but it was. I got this and that other item. Maybe I'll show you where it's hiding. So clip inserted here. Anyway, when I got it, it was clear that it had been underwater. It was underwater. I've already worked on this multiple times, and I'll show you that it kind of works. And I've spruced up its outer appearance and some of the internal stuff. And I think I can even dig up some old pictures when I first took it apart. But the inside was mildewy, and the chassis, which lurks on the inside, was thoroughly rusted through. I haven't fixed much of the electronics. I did replace the belts and some other things, and I kind of tried to hide flaws in the system by just being artsy-fartsy, and at least slowly got it to kind of work. So again, here's what it looks like, and I plugged it in over there, and it does turn on. I don't know if you can see that light, but I can. Here, let's turn off some lights. So now you can see there's a little light right there, and what I think is kind of neat is when you put a tape in, when it's running, this little light cycles, which is really kind of cool. At least I think so. You can see it going. You can set it for, pause, Dolby noise reduction, limiter, manual CRO2. It can detect, I guess, what type of tape is in it. You can turn on Dolby noise reduction. And I just realized suddenly that's not working anymore. It's just always on. I got both of the meters dancing, but they're at different levels. I don't know if that's the tape or the meters. And I finally got the tape counter working. Now the thing is, it's really cranky. It'll play great, and then suddenly it'll say, no, I don't like that tape. It likes 60-minute tapes or less. Doesn't really like the long play ones, because I guess it doesn't have enough torque. But I'm going to open this up and show you kind of a history of things I've done and am going to do, I guess. I just like the old kind of console version of this, because it's kind of cool. And again, I really hope I can dig up the earlier pictures of this, because it was hilarious how bad it was on the inside. And you might be able to tell when I open it up and show it to you. I guess I should mention I also had to 3D print temporarily some slider knobs. And this is just the color I had at the time. I'm probably going to do better ones, because these are just really done up really fast. Also had to fix each one of these knobs. This one was completely broken, and I fixed it by pinning it and melting some stuff. Let's get into it. Let's take this thing apart. You can probably see I've worked on the rustiness of these fasteners multiple times, and they almost immediately re-rust, so I need to prime them with some rust remover or rust preventer. So let's go over here. Back and forth and back and forth. Glasses so I can see. Oh yeah, that's the long one. Uh-oh. That one's stripped. I remember that's the long one. Yeah, if I remember, there's a ground connected to the base. Okay, maybe there's not. Again, you can see the work I've done in this already. It was nothing but mold in here. You can again see how rusted these feet bolts are. And it still kind of smells. It's trying to grow again here, so I'm going to have to disinfect it yet one more time. It's been a personal battle. It's got the fancy vinyl-coated plywood. Now, the crazy mess of the inside, at least bottom. The circuit board, when I first got it, it had a white coating of oxide layers on it from who knows what. Again, I have replaced no electronics on it, so I was shocked when it started working. I've done a lot of rust removing. Some of this tape is, I guess, from fixes to the board in the past to keep it from shorting. It's hilarious. Now, let's see if we can't get off the front panel. I just have to remember how. Oh yeah, front panel comes off with screw connections that are through here. I just have to remember all the places it was. I haven't worked on this for like a while. Let's see, you go through here and you can access this screw. and go through, I think it's this one. So I have to go through here and do some shenanigans to get to that one. And then there's one down here. Oh yeah, that's one of the really long ones. I'm trying to remember all the places. At least they made access points. It's hiding right there. And there's another one over here. It's these two. So there's this little notch here and this little notch here. Telling you that's where they're hiding. Trying to be careful. And then there's the top finally. So here's the tape layer in all its glory. I sanded everything here. You can still pick up some of the rust here. But I worked incredibly hard to get this unrusted. You can even see I sanded and took apart this little mechanism here and replaced the belts. I've done no lubrication whatsoever, done nothing with the rubber, but it's just these two belts. I did replace those because there was nothing left but a gummy mess. So no electronics have been messed with, and I haven't even flipped the top here. I removed all of the crusty foaming that was just turning to dust or worse, and I've done a bunch of things, including making new little felt things, to try to bring this back to life. And again, I have. It worked. So it does play. I think that was play. So you see, I do have it going. Yep, the VU meters are dancing. The slides work. I had to sand these. You can even see from how the color has changed, how much I had to do to them in terms of removing the corrosion and rust from the outside. But this has been just taking a very long time. But at least it now functions. It even plays. So I'm still working on it. I'm trying to figure out all its parts. There's pause. Really hope I can find those earlier pictures, because it's really a neat mechanism and it sounds surprisingly good. See the flywheel going, and there's also a little bit of imbalance in the flywheel, so occasionally you'll hear it go and it really works hard. But I've mostly gotten that taken care of. Now to a part that I have not done. Okay, I have to be careful with those, so hang on, I don't want these bouncing around. Probably not. That way they won't bounce around so much. There's the eject. Okay. It weighs quite a lot. The part I haven't gotten into, anything on the other side of this board, or this one. And again, you can see it's in, well, terrible condition. I should really clean this off, reflow a bunch of things, replace this with some better capstan tape. I actually hadn't noticed how dirty the gears were in here. Yeah, they're terrible, and there's no lubrication anywhere. So I got lots of stuff to do. First things first, let's see if I can't see what's on the other side of this board for the first time ever. So let's find out if we can even look over there. Is there enough give there? At least that side doesn't look too horrible. That is a lot of capacitors. Yeah, that is a lot of capacitors. Holy moly. There's even some chips. I was not expecting some integrated chips. 7533. 7532. I was not expecting so many capacitors. Lots of inductors. Lots of capacitors. Holy moly, I was not expecting so many. That's a lot. There's still some on this board. Microphone and phono input, or the headphones. Maybe we can wiggle. Yeah, we can wiggle. Oh my. Yeah, this is the power. You can see the evidence of the black mold. Yeah, because that's exactly what that is. Now I got to decide, do I actually want to replace all the capacitors? Oop, that one's bubbly. Yeah, that one right there is kind of got a dome on it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. Holy mackerel. And I probably overcounted or undercounted some. So 60. Well, there's another one there. And then there's this one here. That one there, for whatever reason. Rubicon. So these are all blue Rubicon capacitors.
and then you put the reel-to-reel that can't move.
Yeah, I know.
Next to it.
Sorry.
On a table.
Sorry.
That I can't move.
Yeah, sorry. Said sorry. Sorry. Not sorry.
Ah.
Sorry. Not sorry. Okay. So, do I have replacements? 25 volts. Uh-oh. That's a bad sign. 470, though. No, I don't have enough. Okay, 470. How about 1,000 at 16? I do have that one. I do have this one. And 1,000 at 25. I don't have that one. Do I have this one? Swell, I'm going to have to order stuff. 25 volt, 47. I do have that one. Do have that one. So I have 2 of those. Probably have a bunch of these. Okay, first I just want to take this one out that kept reading shorted. So let's do that. Let there be light. Lots and lots of light. 470, 25 volts. Actually, 47, 50 volts, 470. So I do have that one. Ha-ha! That is a monstrously big thing there. Okay. Again, the size difference of these things is hilarious now. These are actually even big for some of the things I do now. Thousand microfarad, 16 volt. Yay. Okay, that's all of them but the one. And you still seem to work just fine. While I'm here, I might as well check the solder joints. They seem fine. Almost looks like there's not enough stuff on here now. I'm guessing these are my bridge rectifier. I'd be lying if I knew exactly what that is. I just know it takes AC and turns it into DC somehow. So, there's that. Still got to replace this one. So I guess I'll leave the board unattached. And I did notice one capacitor over here on this board. It does not look like the others. It's this one right here. It is a 10 volt 330. I have one that'll work. 330, 25 volts. Now I just have to figure out where that is. Easier said than done. Okay, I thought it was this one and that one, so let's give it a shot. I think I was right on. How about that? Let's find out. Apparently that's capacitor literally number 1. Yeah, I'd say that one's bad. It's reading 600 microfarads instead of 330. Yeah, that one's definitely not any good. Okay, I'm going to have to develop a plan here. Figure out exactly how far I want to go into this, rather than power supply and that one obviously bad capacitor, which definitely obviously was. So for the time being, let's settle you down, flip you over. So let's see if I can't figure out what you're going to sound like here. Play. Play. Well, shockingly, that sounds better than it did before. All I replaced was 3 power capacitors, power board capacitors, one of which I still need to change, and one, obviously not right, 330 guy here that's measuring twice. So I want, oh man, yeah, I got to decide if I want to do it all. I think it might be worth it. Here's my one that doesn't get copyrighted. Sometimes tape mechanisms are really cool. You just never know what you might find in something. But I don't know about you, but this is cool. More at Dr. Joe's Fun Stuff.